Hey everyone, Bobby here. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to talk a little bit about my upcoming TikTok mastery course. So, we recently had a lot of new testimonies come in from my bootcamp members. Sienna Blake, for one, has been absolutely crushing it ever since she's joined the bootcamp. In the last 2 weeks, she's gone literally from something like $200, $300 a day to hitting almost $1,000 a day yesterday. And she's still like ramping up. So, I just want to show you guys that all of these, like the stuff that I'm talking about, especially on YouTube and what I'm posting in my Facebook group, a lot of this stuff is from actual personal experience scaling TikTok accounts and having to deal with accounts getting banned, having to deal with accounts getting suppressed views and such. So all of this stuff is coming from experience because I think a lot of people in the publishing space are kind of in their own bubble and they come up with the craziest theories that I've heard of. Recently, I actually did post a bit about theories on TikTok in my group, and I was asking people if they could let me know what are some of the craziest things they've heard of. So let me just pull up some of the things people have mentioned, and I just want to go over this before we start this video. So Michelle Mannon asked, do you have to show your face to get traction? No, you don't have to. Scarlet Girl asked, where do you get photos on TikTok to use in TikTok videos? And I pretty much said it's on TikTok, Pinterest, stock photos, pretty much anything that's like public. So the difference with using photos and videos that are like on TikTok and Pinterest and such is you have to remember this is all personal. So this is like no different than me sharing something I found on Pinterest, on Facebook and such. And there's even authors that make Pinterest boards. In fact, Pinterest is like an aggregate of photos anyway. So it's pretty much the same thing. The only difference is if you do put your like book cover in your TikToks and you're flat out like trying to sell your books, I would say that's like kind of crossing the gray area line sort of stuff. But I'm no legal expert or anything there, but pretty much from the gist of things is because TikTok, this is all on your personal feed and you're not running paid ads. And just because it happens to go viral doesn't really attribute to, you wanting to nick, because TikTok's all about nicking content. That's pretty much how the game works. Thea Atkins says, do you need to spend a lot of time commenting on their videos? So this is like the craziest thing I've probably seen in a bunch of Facebook groups where people are like, you got to spend 3 hours looking through TikTok videos or something like that. You don't have to do that actually. So if you're overseas and you're making an account, it might take you a good like 20, 30 minutes sometimes because you want to check your For You page. If you get a US SIM card or using a mix of SIM card VPN or no SIM card VPN, you want to make sure that you're seeing US videos before you start posting. Aaron says, do we need to make a new account and start with that or use our old account? So this is actually something I'm going to be covering in today's video about contamination. But essentially, it's ideal to make new accounts because they come fresh if your old accounts just aren't getting any views. Sarah Fields asks, can you post too often? So I don't really recommend posting more than 5 times a day. I think that's pretty egregious as is. But I mean, like 2 to 3 times a day is pretty standard. So I probably wouldn't go more than 5. Stephanie says that she feels so out of her depth, that she's not as tech savvy. I mean, look, there's a lot of people in the group that aren't as tech savvy that made it work. I've just basically simplified everything as to what you actually have to look at. Like, how do you get views? Not necessarily focus on like doing stitches and duets. Actually, don't really do much on TikTok, especially when you're trying to get book sales and such. There's better ways to do that. So again, it's very simple. I don't really think if you've ever run Facebook ads or Amazon ads, this is pretty much going to be the same thing, except it's a lot simpler. And then Kathy asks, does it work for white authors? It actually does if your packaging is good. So if you can't sell your books with newsletter promos or paid ads or anything like that, don't expect TikTok to be your magical wizard that are just going to like sell books for you, right? I've even mentioned this very clearly before I launched the bootcamp that if your packaging sucks, if you can't normally sell books through other means, then TikTok just isn't going to do that for you. And actually, I think Heather had a video that went crazy viral, but I think her covers are a bit old and it didn't convert as well. So I think she ended up getting like 1.5 million views on one of her TikToks recently, but because her packaging looks really old, I think Simone also had this issue, and then she recently fixed one of her books, and I think I ended up seeing it hit like 440 before I checked in again. But basically, you just got to look at your packaging, look at your covers, look at your book description. And again, if it normally doesn't sell on its own with paid ads or newsletter swaps or newsletter promos, or even just having like blog tours or Facebook group tours, et cetera, then again, don't expect TikTok to sell it for you. So I'm going to talk real quick about contamination, is what I call it. Essentially, this is a problem that will persist if you have multiple accounts on TikTok. Because as you guys know, TikTok doesn't like people opening multiple accounts, and they're they have heightened like AI spam prevention. And recently, I've started to notice this taking into effect. So a lot of people kind of blame this as the algorithm, but if you run multiple accounts, you need to practice really good hygiene with your account separations. So this is why I don't recommend having shared accounts, because it could literally mess up everything for you. And I think the best example I can pull from this is Shandy Boys. If anyone knows Shandy Boys, send them this video, because I'm gonna assume this is what they're doing, because I can kind of see their views like dropping off. So basically, with Toxic Book Boyfriend, I'm pretty sure this is a shared account. I don't think one person's running it. Otherwise, you wouldn't see views like this drop off on an account like this, especially if their watch time is bad. Because this video here, okay, I've seen this video with Shandy Boys many times. I'm pretty sure the watch time on this is really good. I've seen a bunch of these other videos here that have done really, really well on other accounts that have done really, really well. So their watch time has to be good for some of these videos. But if you scroll back, you'll notice that they don't have a lot of like good views coming in. Like this one had 24K, but this one was all the way back in like a couple weeks ago. And then if you scroll back further along, like you haven't really seen a massive viral video recently. I think there's a couple other authors who might have started seeing this recently too, that I can probably bring up. But I think Shandy Boys is probably like the biggest example, because I've actually opened up as many pages as I can with their books. So if you look at this account, I think Shandy Boys also got her account banned, because I think I was following her as well, but I think she had her like main account banned or something a while back. But you can kind of see, like, even with the new account she set up, she's getting views and such, but recently, again, it's not as high. And it's the same thing with here, like SHP reads. Normally, look, if you're reposting video, okay, so if you have a really high watch time video and you're gonna like repost it, there's actually a couple steps that you should be taking, and I'll be covering that in the course. But essentially, if you're blatantly like reposting, the problem is this is kind of the behavior a lot of people end up doing. And I'm gonna actually draw it out on the whiteboard real quick. But going back to the rest of her accounts here, so she has like bookish romance here, like 15, 6, 18, 13, 8. Like none of these have been really taking off, right? And then I saw this one too, enemies to lover romance, similar issues. There were like a couple hundred views for the last however many videos. Even their Sky High publishing account, couple hundred videos here. BookTok husband, this one recently been taking off, but but you can see here it's kind of the same thing. Like they're not getting as many views as like the follower counts they have. Even here, a couple hundred, a couple thousand. I mean, that's not, again, nothing to sneeze at. So this is pretty like okay standard wise, but it's like if you should be doing better, right? Even here, not as much. I think there's a couple I saw that was like absolutely crazy. Like this is like generally this is like okay. Their Enigma series, actually, I think this was one of the ones that I saw that is actually doing really well. So I'm gonna move this over here, and I'm gonna talk about my suspicions. Book Talk Obsession. I think I already opened that one up. Possessive Book Boyfriend. Let me move this over here, and I've already opened this one up. Okay. There was let me see. There was also I think Bestie. They had another account, I think, called Bestie. Let me pull it up. Oh, here we go. Bestie Reads. Okay. This one was like absolutely crazy. Like they're getting slammed here, right? So let me organize this real quick, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I think is happening. Let me see. This one's probably okay. Let me see. This one here. 28, 13. Okay. I'm pretty sure SHU reads like somewhere around here. Okay. Okay. So this is pretty much what happens when you're running multiple accounts on TikTok. So the problem is you want TikTok. So having multiple accounts on your device doesn't really affect like performance unless you go like above five. I've noticed after five, you get heavy performance issues. But essentially, what's happening is TikTok has this is something you can look this up in the terms of service too. But basically, TikTok doesn't like bot like activity or behavior, right? And they're very strict. They're very aggressive when it comes to stuff like this. So imagine all of these are separate accounts, right? Normally, what you want to be doing is you literally want to separate everything to where they to TikTok it has to look like they're unique individuals, right? And there's a couple things that flag your accounts where your views get suppressed. But essentially, what I'm assuming is happening because I've actually done this before. I've fallen into this sort of bad habit before as well. And my wife, she's like the best at TikTok. She reminds me to not do this like literally every single time. In fact, for our businesses that we have outside of TikTok, uh, we don't actually like share links or anything. We actually look at, I actually have to like, I don't even look at her accounts. We don't do that at all. She either brings like her phone or one of the phones we have to me, or if she wants me to see something, if we're like making sounds, right, we actually go to the root video. But basically what's happening is, and again, we're just creatures of habit, right? So what happens is, let's say I'm on this account here, right, and this is probably split up across multiple devices because I don't really think they're going to have like 8 accounts on one phone. I wouldn't think they'd do that. I'm pretty sure that they have multiple devices, right? But the problem is, this is where like cross contamination comes into play. You don't want to be following your own accounts for one, but you also don't want to be interacting or engaging with your own accounts as well. So imagine I'm on like so let's say I'm on this TikTok account and I post a video, right, from like a sound I nicked, right? So I'm gonna put so imagine this is like the account, this is the video, I want to take the sound, I favorite it, right? What most people will do if they have multiple accounts is they don't actually go look up that same video. They'll switch to their next account and they'll go to this account to then take the sound to use. And they're going to do that because it's just a lot simpler this way, right? This is typically what happens most of the time. In fact, I think even Simone recently experienced this because this is like what happens. Because again, we're all creatures of habit. Sharing things on social media is just a natural thing. It's kind of a thing that we've kind of like been learning. You know, if we shared Instagram videos or Facebook videos with each other, even YouTube videos, this is kind of natural, basic, like creatures of habit sort of stuff, right? The problem with this is if you're going to one of your other accounts and you're visiting one of like your accounts here, if it's on the same device, so meaning let's just say like this account, this account, this account, this account, let's say these five like up to here, let's say these are all on one device. The problem is TikTok actually knows that you have this many accounts on one device, but if you're like cross interacting with each other, they're going to start suppressing your views because they think you're a bot, right? One of the ways they're able to find this is there's a couple things. Okay, so aside from that, the other thing is people, when it comes to sharing links on TikTok, people end up actually sharing their referral link with the same group of people, and TikTok can see that. So what I mean by that is I actually posted a photo here in my group chat. Let me pull it up here real quick. Okay, so here's what I mean here. Um, so this is like one of the accounts that I've been using for the last couple months, right? Now notice here. So I sent this link to Sienna and Terry, and if you ever send a link on Facebook or through Messenger, right? Because that's what I would do normally, right? You see how there's this referral, like it says this account join me on TikTok. You only get this if you're on your phone and you click the share link and you send it to someone. So even like Facebook groups, like even in the Facebook group, I totally like effed up. Like I think I should have logged out on the desktop before I like clicked on all those links. But this is actually bad because the more interactions you do. So let's say I send you a video this way, you send me a video, we do this back and forth, back and forth. This might sound like natural and seem natural for us, but to TikTok, it looks like we're botting basically, because TikTok doesn't like artificial like engagement. They don't like artificial views to pump the algorithm. It's the same thing with YouTube, right? YouTube doesn't like that either. So every time you share a link on TikTok, it actually generates like a new link, right? So if I click copy and I share the link with someone and I go back and click copy, that's every single time I do that, it's actually a new link. And that's how they're able to kind of keep tabs on this. What you want to be doing is, if you're going to be sharing links on social media, or you want to send it to yourself on Messenger or however, you want to do it through desktop where you've logged off. Okay. And what happens is it's going to look like this. So you see how I don't have the referral link. So that means TikTok can't really track how I'm sharing this video. And if you do that, it kind of severs that sort of connection, right? So it's the same thing here. If Shandy Boy is in this example, and again, this only happens if you're scaling super aggressively, because I've done this multiple times and I've actually fucked this up several times as well. Which is why like I've literally gone through like, we probably made like over 50 TikTok accounts by now, because I've lost a lot because of this. But what happens is, and again, this is what I'm assuming from what I'm seeing. I'm pretty sure Shandy Boys has like maybe 3 phones or something, or maybe more. I don't know how many. And what you want to do is, you want to, of course, separate your accounts. So if you have separate devices now, it's a little bit cleaner, but you still don't want to send referral links, right? Because what happens is, like, let's say like, I'm just using this as an example. This is like speculation, but as far as like how I think they're doing it, but let's say like one of them finds a sound or a video with a sound they want to use, they'll probably send it to like Messenger or something, or some other communication platform. And then what they'll do is they'll go on their phone, and let's see, there's like multiple accounts here. They're just gonna swipe away and go to Messenger, maybe WhatsApp or whatever, and they're gonna go and click on like copy the sound, right? The problem is, if whoever shared the sound, if they're logged in onto TikTok, they're gonna have that referral link, and that's kind of how TikTok gets you like all the time, right? So the only way you can really sort of like avoid this issue is, you need to actually go to the root video every time, and you don't want to interact. You want to avoid interacting with any of your other multiple accounts. So let's say I found this video, and rather like this account taking it, and then you're going to just visit your own account, you have to be more like this. And it's like a pain in the ass, of course, because it's like not it's because it's like extra steps, right? But by doing it this way, you're going to make sure you avoid not interacting with your accounts between each other. The other thing is your privacy settings. So if you don't have your privacy settings off on every account, TikTok is very aggressive when it comes to your contacts. Okay. So every time you make a new account, you want to shut off all your privacy features on that account, so that way they don't track your contacts and all that stuff. But on top of that, they're very egregious when it comes to this sort of stuff, which is why I really recommend, if you're going to be scaling up on TikTok, I probably shouldn't say this, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because even the whole like engaging with each other accounts is actually like on the terms of service, so it should be like clear as day. I just think people don't actually put this to good practice. Okay, so this is kind of like how you have to kind of operate if you're going to be running multiple accounts, where they never interact with each other at all. Like, that's basically the best way to prevent TikTok thinking you're a bot, right? If you've ever lost the ability to pin comments, as an example, and you started to notice that your views are like dipping, this only happens because TikTok thinks you're a bot, and you need to spend more time engaging on like each account as well. But as far as like solutions to fix this, there really isn't. What you really just have to do is you have to come in, like check your account maybe once a week or every couple of days to see if videos start serving again. But this is like just as an example, like this is how bad this is, and I don't think people actually realize what they're doing. I'm gonna use this group as an example here, right? Because you see how people are sharing their TikToks. So, like in the authors of TikTok here, so in this group as an example, they have these posts. There's links they're sharing, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send this to myself on my phone real quick. I'm gonna show you a screenshot as to what it looks like. So I sent this link to myself, right, on my account here, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you what the preview looks like when you're trying to open it up. So this is how you know, like basically these are the links that are kind of I thought so, yeah. These are the links that are kind of like screwing with you, right? So check this out. You see here how it says Cynthia Therese author, right? Basically, this is like the referral link, as what I was saying, was she probably copied it on her phone and pasted it here, right? Here's another example here with Emily. So people that are actually doing like this is actually what affects your views way worse than anything else. Okay, so let me put up Emily Collins here as an example, and the problem is if you're sharing this link to literally the same group of people to TikTok, they think you're basically botting because they're seeing the same people over and over. Because the thing is, this is how they know it's the same person. Because when you share a link on TikTok and someone clicks on it, if you go to your analytics, you'll see shares, right? So those shares are basically the number of times people have clicked on that link. But if you have a TikTok account, every time you click on those shared links, they sort of like see that, right? So if you're literally liking and trying to push people's like views up because of engagement, like artificial engagement, that's basically what's happening. So even with like Emily Collins here, same thing, right? You see how I'm getting this preview link. So the only way to get rid of that is you have to literally log off on your. So like let me pull this up here. Okay, so I'm actually logged off on my desktop. So I'm going to show you how the links show up differently. Okay, so if I so you see how I'm not on logged in, right? So see how I'm not logged in. If I was to copy this link and send it to myself because I'm not logged in, this is what it ends up looking like when I try to click on it on my phone because I'm logged off. So they're not tracking me. So see, because they don't have that, like this person is trying to share it with you, they don't actually like they don't see that as a referral link basically. So it's not gonna attribute to like your shares on your analytics. So this is pretty like important stuff if you're going to be in a group, guys, where like look, and let me go and take a look at her account here real quick too, just to see if she's getting views or not. So she does original content. I talked about like why I don't do original content, but if you've ever done book flips, even if you do book flips and your watch time is so bad, basically, you see how people are literally what are they doing here? See, when you have reacted to a video posted, please grab a screenshot and share it. This is actually hurting everyone's views because they're grabbing referral links and they're basically sharing it with each other to the point where literally it's the same group of people, right? So this is how TikTok knows like they feel like look, you see how her views here too aren't taking off, right? So if she's the type of person, if she's actually engaged with a lot of these other accounts here, uh then she's not getting views. So I think this is why, like, I don't think a lot of people like realize this. Like, look, even Cypher Babe, look, you see how she's not getting any views at all, like hardly any views. Same thing. Let's see. Well, again, most of these accounts don't have like good videos, but even then, like getting 80 views, 10 views, 50 views, like that's basically TikTok stalling your account. Look, Polly J Mordant, same thing here. Like you see how she's like hardly getting more than 100 views a video, right? It's because they're all sharing the referral link. So you gotta like if you ever see this, guys, like don't join anything like this because this is literally like screwing with your views and your algo. So like again, this is just an example with Shandy Boys because I've seen Shandy like have really good accounts and I've seen them making a bunch of new ones. I'm gonna assume this is like out of frustration because it's like again, like if I was in their shoes, like I'd be frustrated too. So you see how some of these accounts have good views and some of them don't. My assumption here is that they do have multiple devices, and again, that's totally fine. But you have to again operate with this sort of framework that you literally have to separate your devices, and just rule of thumb is just never interact with like each other at all, even if it's through like shared accounts. Like you literally have to avoid that. If you want to send each other links just for the videos, then you have to be on desktop and you have to be logged off of TikTok, and you have to literally like fetch the video, uh like this. Like you literally have to fetch it, and then that's how I would share it on like Messenger, WhatsApp, or whatever like social media platform, communication platform you're using, to then like stipe the sound, right? To add it to your favorites. Otherwise, like yeah, like I mean, my goodness, like let's look. I'm gonna look down here real quick, and I'm gonna bet if these people have done this multiple times and they're wondering why they're not getting any views, it's because they've literally like cross contaminated their accounts so badly to where TikTok's treating them as if they're like bots, basically. Um, Now, of course, you still have to have really good videos. Like your videos have to have good watch time and everything else. But like, look, 13. You see, how they get 13 views or 15 views, but they have more followers, right? It's this is pretty much kind of like what's happening. And if you're in a group of authors, like if you literally have a group of friends where you're sharing sounds with each other, this is literally like messing with your views. If you're not taking proper steps to basically share your videos and such. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy the video. Again, I do have my TikTok mastery course coming out. It's going to be coming out like on the 14th, but I might drop it early on the 13th. I did get a few early birds in like last night, and most of them have said like it literally takes them like an hour to go through. Like no, not even an hour to go through everything, because it's really like to the point, and I'm basically explaining it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and post this video here. Again, guys, if you're not in my Facebook group, go ahead and check me out. I'm also running giveaways. It's in the description and in the comments below. Like I'll put it there. But this giveaway is ending on the 22nd, so I hope you guys like participate, because I shelled out 54.50 on this giveaway, like out of pocket. So I hope you guys enjoy. And yeah, just make sure you stay safe with your TikTok accounts and take like contamination, cross contamination, and hygiene seriously. Cheers. Okay, I'm actually adding this clip right after I made the whole video, but let me show you what this is like, what I was talking about with artificial like engagement, artificial views. I just noticed this, and I don't know, maybe because it's like 4 o'clock in the morning here, right? But you see how people are pumping engagement this way? If you go and check these authors out as well, okay, I'm just gonna like literally just like look, even like Jean or Jeannie, or like CC Davy here, look, she has 10,000 followers on her account, but you see how all of her views are being like throttled, right? Like you normally never see this ever. Like this sort of like, even her followers are not getting like, it's not going to the for you. I'm pretty sure if she checks her analytics, I'm pretty sure everyone that's like seeing her views are from pretty much like her follower account. Like I don't think they're actually going to the for you, right? Same thing with Jean here. You see how, look, she has 6,911 followers, but notice how like her views have started to throttle down. I don't know when she started, like I don't know if they've done this like forever or not, but like you gotta like shut this shit down. I'm serious. Like this is like absolutely crazy, right? So look, you see how they're commenting and hearting each other. This yeah. So look at it this way again. You're sharing a referral link from TikTok. TikTok can see you doing that. TikTok can see who's clicking on it and who's artificially like engaging. They're gonna like throttle your views. Like this is why I think people need to like smarten up about this, because this is terrible. Like look, I'm gonna go like, so this is a video with Emily Collins, right? Let's go check out these authors here too. This is like, I didn't realize how bad this was. This is why I went ahead and added this video. Yeah, you see, like the reason they're not getting views, I'm pretty sure if they go to their analytics, okay, if they go to their analytics and see who's watching their videos, I'm like, I'll bet money on this. I'm pretty sure it's just their followers. Like they're not getting onto the for you page, and they probably wouldn't even know it. because they don't even check their analytics. Like literally every single person that came into my boot camp have told me they never check analytics, and I'm pretty sure that like again they're not checking it, and they think like TikTok's like punishing them for some reason. The reason they're punishing them is because they're sharing referral links with the same group of people and artificially pumping up their engagements. Like TikTok doesn't like that. Like you do that shit on YouTube, they don't like that either. Like they don't want to see artificial comments, artificial views, like none of that shit. Like literally, like this is like absolutely crazy. So I went ahead and added this clip in between. So if this looks off, that's why.